Hey guys, what's up? This is actually my first movie review for my YouTube channel. I've basically done a lot of Sasquatch videos and things like that, as you guys know, up to now. But this is my review for the new G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra movie. Now, as a kid of the 80s, now of course I was born in 1970. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I remember the original G.I. Joe figures, which were 12 inches tall, and I had the Naval Adventure Team member, had a little scar on his face, had the lifelike hair, which all of them had, by the way, and had a beard, which I thought was pretty cool. He was the only one I had, though, at that time. And then the 80s came along, and G.I. Joe was no longer a man, no longer a person. It was an entire unit. An entire unit of elite special soldiers with very, very loose dress codes. I mean, you guys have seen some of the costumes that these characters wear. Definitely not standard to our modern military. But I was very much enchanted by that particular line of action figures and the comic book and the cartoon that came along later. I was actually a major fan of the cartoon, mostly the toy line and the comic book. Of course, in the cartoon, you couldn't show killing, you couldn't show people being killed off, but because I mean we're talking about a weekday afternoon cartoon show, you couldn't show killing on there. So that was the only thing, about that cartoon. Whereas, of course, in the comic book, you could show killing. And whenever I would play with my figures, whenever I would play with the G.I. Joe figures, I would have them kill off, Cobras. Or Cobra. The enemy was Cobra. Commander and Destro and Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender and all these other characters and all the Cobra Troopers, the Baroness, Zartan. I think I may have mentioned Zartan, but anyway. The comic book and the cartoon they were sort of polar opposites, but other than that, I enjoyed the cartoon. Now, of course, the recent Resolute cartoon really, really stepped it up a notch, and it was much more rated TV-14 than rated TVG or TVY7, because there were deaths in there. There was a lot of, stuff going on. As far as people were actually dying, including a Joe that got killed off. But anyway, the new G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra movie is out now, and I got to see it last night, and I really enjoyed it. I would say it was a good movie. I wouldn't call it a great movie, but I would call it a good movie. Some highlights of my review is I thought the acting was pretty good, not great. The special effects were pretty cool, and the characters were well thought out. The high points, to me, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was terrific as Rex Lewis, then the Doctor, and then Cobra Commander at the end. Sienna Miller as the Baroness, very hot, and also did a very good job at the acting. Rachel Nichols as Scarlet, very hot again, and also very good as Scarlet. And Ray Park, who we knew as Darth Maul in Star Wars Episode 1, as everybody's favorite Commando Ninja, Snake Eyes. He was very good, and despite the fact that he said not a single word throughout the entire movie, I thought he was very, very good. Marlon Wayans was really cool as Ripcord, not nearly as jokey as perhaps first thought. The fights between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow also rocked. I am glad that the final film does not have Snake Eyes speaking after, spoiler alert, he kills Storm Shadow like in the script. In the script, Snake Eyes actually spoke after he killed Storm Shadow, or apparently killed Storm Shadow. But they thankfully decided to forego him speaking in the movie. Low points, I would say Destro's quote-unquote mask. I hope they fix it for the sequel. The only thing was, the nanomites were injected into his face, and that's what caused him to have the metallic-looking face, because his face was burnt in the movie. Cobra Commander's mask, which looked like a big fishbowl, which, that's something I hope Stephen Sommers will change. And he indicated in a recent interview that he might go to the mirrored battle helmet version in the sequel, and also the quote-unquote acting of Channing Tatum, who played Duke. Stiff as a board. He wasn't all that good. I mean, he tried. I would definitely say he tried, but no, he just he didn't cut the mustard. Still, it was a fun movie. It's definitely a fun movie, and pretty much the culmination, at least for me, of 27 years of waiting for a live-action treatment of my favorite 80s toy line comic cartoon. I really enjoyed it, and the sets were really well done. The CGI was pretty good, not great, but pretty good. I would give this movie about 4 out of 5 stars. I would say at least see it once, just to kind of give yourself an idea of what the movie is like, what the characters are like. Don't really, if you're a fan of the comic books and the cartoon and the toys and all that, don't go into it, with your little fanboy expectations, to where, this is going to ruin my childhood. It ruined my childhood. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as just another part of the continuity. Sure, there were some story elements that weren't, true to the comic or true to the cartoon, but hey, it's a movie. They had to change some things for the movie. Bottom line is, I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. And I hope everybody else will too if they go see it. So, yeah, I would say see G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Out now in theaters everywhere.